Have you ever felt like there's something powerful inside you, something beyond the ordinary, just waiting to come out? You notice it shows up when you get a great idea, when you're lost in thought, or when you're doing something you love. And time just seems to disappear. That hidden power, that spark, is what is called your inner genius. Believe it or not, every single person has one. Friedrich Nietzsche, a genius philosopher from the 1800s, believed that we aren't just meant to follow rules or live like everyone else. He said that deep down, we each have the potential to be something more, to create, to question, to live freely, and to be a masterpiece, not a photocopy. This idea is something called existentialism, and you're about to find out what it means to your entire being. Now, when you think about being yourself, what comes to your mind? For many people, it's about embracing their quirks, passions, and strengths, and living life on their own terms, but discovering your true self can be a journey, and it's not always easy. It requires a deep understanding of who you are, what you value, and what makes you tick. With his existentialism concept, Friedrich Nietzsche believed that being yourself as the genius you are is the key to living a fulfilling life. His concept of the genius started with his early work called The Birth of Tragedy, released in 1872. In it, he explored the relationship between art and the human condition. He also argued that art is a way for people to transcend the limitations of the human experience and tap into the Dionysian forces that drive creativity. Nietzsche further talked about the genius concept in his book Thus Spoke Zarathustra between 1883 and 1885. In this book, he introduced the idea of the Übermensch as a being who has transcended conventional moral and cultural norms. For the record, the Übermensch is a creative, self-overcoming person who embodies the values of life affirmation and self-transcendence. Throughout his work, Nietzsche celebrates these people who embody genius, creativity, and self-overcoming. He sees them as the driving force behind human progress and cultural achievement. According to Nietzsche, traditional morality and societal expectations can stifle your genius mind and creativity, so it is up to you to create your own values and meaning. But here's where things get really difficult. One of the biggest challenges in being yourself is overcoming the need for external validation. Many people seek approval and acceptance from others, whether it's from family, friends, or society at large. But when you're constantly trying to fit in or meet others' expectations, you can lose sight of what's truly important to you. Nietzsche would argue that this is a form of herd mentality, where people prioritize conformity over individuality. By breaking free from this mentality, you can start to discover your true self and live a more authentic life. Understanding your strengths and passions is an important part of being yourself. When you're doing something you love, you're more likely to feel energized, motivated, and fulfilled. Your strengths can also give you confidence and purpose, helping you to overcome life's challenges with greater ease. But identifying your strengths and passions can take time and exploration. It might involve trying new things, taking risks, and learning from your mistakes. Nietzsche would encourage you to view these experiences as opportunities for growth and self-overcoming, rather than as threats to your ego or status quo. As you explore your strengths and passions, you may also discover that you have unique values and perspectives that set you apart from others. This can be both empowering and intimidating. On the one hand, embracing your individuality can give you freedom and autonomy. On the other hand, it can also mean that you'll face challenges and criticism from others who don't understand or agree with your views. Nietzsche's philosophy of genius emphasizes the importance of embracing this individuality, even if it means standing alone or going against the crowd, because when you were growing up, you were often taught to fit in and conform to societal norms. You were also encouraged to follow the rules, do what you're told, and avoid standing out too much. But what if being yourself means going against the grain? What if your unique talents, perspectives, and ideas aren't valued by the people around you? This can be a challenging and delicate situation, especially when you're trying to preserve your individuality and creativity. You may feel like you're being pulled in different directions, with some people urging you to conform and others encouraging you to be yourself. One of the biggest obstacles to preserving your individuality is the pressure to fit in, and this brings us back to the herd mentality. The pressure can come from family, friends, peers, or even societal expectations. You may feel like you need to conform to certain norms or standards to be accepted or loved. But the truth is that conformity can be a creativity killer. When you're too focused on fitting in, you may actually suppress your unique ideas and perspectives and lose sight of what makes you special. You may also struggle with feelings of resentment and frustration as you try to balance your desire to fit in with your need to express yourself authentically. But sadly, when you're part of a group or crowd, it's easy to get swept up in the collective energy and momentum. The herd mentality can also be a force that suppresses your individuality and creativity. When you're too focused on fitting in with the group, you may lose sight of your own unique perspective and voice. You may also struggle with groupthink, where the desire for consensus and harmony overrides your own critical thinking and creativity. Overcoming societal norms, expectations, and limitations requires a certain level of self-awareness and confidence. You need to be aware of the external forces that are influencing your thoughts and behaviors, and you need to have the confidence to challenge them and tap into your unique creativity and perspective. When you're not constrained by societal expectations, you can explore new ideas and approaches that might not be acceptable to others. You can take risks, challenge assumptions, and push boundaries in ways that might not be possible if you're too focused on fitting in. This can lead to incredible breakthroughs and innovations as you tap into your inner genius and creativity, with Nietzsche's existentialism in mind. One of the major aspects of Nietzsche's existentialism is the idea of creating your own values and meaning in life. This means that you don't have to rely on external authorities or traditional morality to tell you what's right or wrong. Instead, you can forge your path and create your sense of purpose. This can be freeing, as it allows you to drop the pretenses and focus on what's truly important to you, but at the same time, it is also scary to even start, as it requires you to take responsibility for your choices and actions, but it also gives you the power to have control over your destiny and live a life that's truly yours. When you're being yourself, you're more likely to feel authentic and have integrity. You're not trying to pretend to be someone you're not or hide behind a mask of pretenses. Instead, you're embracing your flaws and imperfections and being honest about who you are and what you want. Nietzsche argued that this kind of authenticity is needed for living a fulfilling life, as it allows you to tap into your unique strengths and passions. Of course, being yourself isn't always easy. There will be times when you'll face criticism, rejection, or even self-doubt. But Nietzsche's philosophy suggests that these challenges are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Nietzsche has also revealed that when it comes to understanding ourselves, we often focus on our conscious thoughts and behaviors, but beneath the surface of our awareness, there's a wide and mysterious realm known as the subconscious. This is where our deepest desires, emotions, and motivations reside, influencing our actions and decisions in ways we may not even realize. Exploring your subconscious can be a powerful way to better understand your inner world and unlock your full potential. And there's one way you can do this: through self-analysis. You might have heard many artists, writers, and innovators credit their subconscious minds with providing them with inspiration and ideas. By paying attention to your dreams, intuition, and gut feelings, you can access a deeper source of creativity and imagination. This can help you approach problems from new angles, find innovative solutions, and express yourself in more authentic ways. Your subconscious is also home to your deepest desires and emotions. These can be both positive and negative, and they often influence your thoughts and behaviors in ways you're not even aware of. By exploring your subconscious, you know what really drives you and what holds you back. This can help you make more informed decisions, build stronger relationships, and cultivate a more fulfilling life. For example, you may discover that you have a deep fear of failure that's holding you back from pursuing your goals. By acknowledging and working through this fear, you can develop the courage and confidence to take risks and pursue your passions. One of the most important things to remember when exploring your subconscious is that it's not always rational or logical. Your subconscious mind operates on a different level than your conscious mind, and it can be influenced by a wide range of factors, including your experiences, emotions, and relationships. Your subconscious mind is also closely linked to your emotional intelligence. By tuning into your emotions and intuition, you can develop a higher understanding of yourself and others as the genius you truly are. Meanwhile, remember that genius is not just something you're born with, as many people think. It's something that can be developed. One of the most famous examples of this is the story of Thomas Edison, who is often credited with inventing the light bulb. While Edison is often quoted as saying, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration," his story proves the importance of diligence and hard work in achieving greatness. Edison experimented with thousands of different filaments before finally finding one that worked. And this shows that even the most brilliant ideas often require a lot of effort and dedication. The myth that genius is solely by birth can be damaging because it can lead people to believe that they're not capable of achieving greatness. If someone is naturally gifted, then what's the point of trying? This mindset can hold people back from pursuing their passions and developing their talents. Take, for example, the concept of the 10-0-0-0-hour rule, which suggests that it takes approximately 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become an expert in a particular field. This idea is supported by studies of top performers in various fields, from music and sports to science and art. These people didn't become experts overnight. They put in the time and effort required to develop their skills and knowledge. You also need to keep in mind that the concept of genius is often associated with creativity and innovation. While some people may be naturally more inclined towards creative pursuits, it's also true that creativity can be developed and nurtured. This is why you shouldn't be envious or resentful of people who are natural geniuses. You might think, "Why can't I be like them?" Or "Why do they get all the attention?" But this mindset can be damaging, as it can lead you to focus on what others have rather than what you're capable of achieving yourself. Success is not a zero-sum game. Just because someone else is successful doesn't mean that you're not. There are plenty of opportunities for everyone to achieve their goals and pursue their passions. So by comparing yourself to others, you can get caught up in feelings of inadequacy and frustration, which can hold you back from pursuing your own goals and dreams. That's not even half of it. Another problem with resentment is that it can consume you. When you're focused on what others have, you can start to feel like you'll never measure up. You might become fixated on the idea that someone else has an unfair advantage or that they're somehow more deserving of success. This mindset ignores the fact that everyone has their own unique strengths and weaknesses. When you resent geniuses or exceptionally talented people, you're also missing out on the opportunity to learn from them. You can have the opportunity to study their work, learn from their experiences, and understand their thought processes. By doing so, you can start to develop your own skills and knowledge, rather than feeling intimidated or threatened by others. There's also the fact that geniuses and exceptionally talented people often have their struggles and challenges. Like most hating people think, geniuses are not immune to self-doubt, fear, or uncertainty. Many of them have spoken publicly about the difficulties they've faced in their careers or personal lives. By embracing our unique talents and abilities, we can start to feel more confident and self-assured. We're not trying to be someone else. We're being ourselves. This can lead to more authenticity and fulfillment as we're living our lives on our terms. We're not trying to fit into someone else's mold or meet someone else's expectations. We're forging our own path. So how can you find your inner genius without being resentful of another's or trying to disregard theirs? Well, when it comes to achieving mastery in any field, diligence is the answer. It's not just about putting in the time, but also about being intentional and focused in your efforts. Deliberate practice, which involves setting specific goals and working to improve specific skills, is a crucial component of mastery. This mindset requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. One of the most important aspects of diligence is setting clear goals and priorities. When you know what you want to achieve, you can focus your efforts and make progress towards your objectives. This involves breaking down large goals into smaller, manageable tasks and creating a plan to achieve them. By doing so, you can stay motivated and track your progress, which can help you stay committed to your goals. Diligence also requires a growth mindset, which involves being open to learning and improvement. When you're willing to learn from your mistakes and take feedback from others, you can refine your skills and develop new ones. This mindset allows you to approach challenges with curiosity and enthusiasm rather than fear or resistance. That's not all. Apart from diligence, having gratitude and integrity is also very important for finding your inner genius and making a positive impact. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you can shift your perspective and approach challenges with a more positive attitude. Gratitude can also help you stay grounded and humble, even in the face of success. Embracing integrity is also next for achieving success and making a positive impact. When you operate with integrity, you're more likely to build trust and credibility with others. This involves being honest, transparent, and accountable in your actions and decisions. When you combine diligence, gratitude, and integrity, you can create a powerful framework for achieving success and making a positive impact. It doesn't end there. Next, you need to have a strong inner drive and ambition. This is what Friedrich Nietzsche referred to as the will to power, which is the drive to excel, overcome obstacles, and achieve greatness. When you tap into your will, you can unlock your full potential and pursue your goals with passion and determination. One of the main aspects of the will to power is the desire to overcome challenges and push beyond your limits. When you're driven by a strong sense of ambition, you're more likely to take risks, face obstacles head-on, and persevere in the face of adversity. This mindset allows you to grow and develop as a person and to achieve things that you might not have thought possible. Developing a personal moral code is also necessary for finding your inner genius. When you create your own values, you can align them with your goals and aspirations and use them to guide your decisions and actions. This involves reflecting on what's important to you and what kind of person you want to be. It also involves viewing life as a creative expression, because you start to see it as an opportunity for self-expression and artistry. By living life as art, you can turn even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for creativity and self-expression. To achieve this, you need to strive for self-mastery. When you're committed to mastering your craft, you're more likely to push yourself to new heights and channel your inner genius. This involves setting high standards for yourself and working tirelessly to improve your skills and abilities. You also need to embrace adversity to live a life that's full of purpose and meaning. When you affirm life's challenges, you're able to see them as opportunities for growth and development rather than obstacles to be overcome. It also allows you to develop improved perspective and gratitude because you're forced to reevaluate your priorities and focus on what's truly important. This can help you stay grounded and focused, even amid chaos and uncertainty. In embracing this approach, you're able to take ownership of your life and create your own unique experience. You're not just a passive observer, you're an active participant in creating your destiny and meaning. This is called cultivate self-overcoming because you're committed to continuously pushing beyond your limits and striving for excellence. By pushing yourself to new heights, you become proud of yourself and your accomplishments and live a truly fulfilling life. Self-overcoming is not just about achieving success, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. This works hand in hand with having a growth mindset. When you believe that your abilities and intelligence can be developed, you're more likely to take risks and push yourself outside of your comfort zone to find your passionate pursuit. When you're doing something that ignites your passion and creativity, you're more likely to be motivated and engaged. This involves identifying activities that bring you joy and fulfillment and pursuing them with dedication and enthusiasm. By finding your passionate pursuit, you can tap into your inner drive, creativity, strength, and talents. You're also more likely to be in flow and to perform at your best. But there's a catch. Self-overcoming and finding your passionate pursuit requires a high degree of self-awareness and introspection. You need to be willing to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses and to identify activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. To do this, you need to be honest with yourself and take full responsibility for your actions and decisions. Next, you need to practice something Friedrich Nietzsche called eternal recurrence. This means living in the present moment and making choices that you'd be proud to repeat eternally. This mindset allows you to approach life with intention and purpose rather than drifting through it on autopilot. This mindset can also help you stay focused on what's truly important and live a life that's authentic and meaningful. By considering whether your actions would be worthy of eternal repetition, you can make choices that align with your values and goals. Practicing eternal recurrence also involves developing a warrior's spirit that can help you build resilience and perseverance in the face of obstacles. As with this, you're more likely to stay motivated and focused on your goals. This also allows you to recover from setbacks with ease and to come out stronger on the other side. With all of these steps, practices, and internal values to find your inner genius, you're also on a journey to achieve personal growth and transformation. On this journey, you can be open to new experiences and learning opportunities, staying adaptable, and continuing to evolve and improve over time. Soon enough, your self-transformation will lead you to becoming the best version of yourself. While on this journey, remember Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of existentialism and tips for embracing and celebrating your individuality. If you enjoyed watching this video about how to find your inner genius, then subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing revelations like this. In our next videos, we'll explore more true and relatable psychological concepts and what they mean in your subconscious and inner creativity. So to always be updated, hit the notification bell. You can also check out our other videos on Friedrich Nietzsche's concepts, including the Übermensch and the will to power. You'll also find more interesting concepts from other philosophical geniuses like Carl Jung. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next video.